I am the oldest sibling out of 4, and my brothers have always been rough on me because I'm a girl. By the way, I'm the only girl my parents had, and all of my brothers are 1 year younger than me. They were triplets. I've always been the one to be a second mum to my brothers, because whenever our parents couldn't get it, I would. One of my brothers found a wife, and they've had a baby girl. I'm very close to my brother and his wife, and even his wife was excited to have me as the baby's aunt. I love this baby with all of my heart, being that this is my first niece, and I plan on spoiling her because I'm financially stable. Even though I'm not wealthy, I still have a good amount of spending money. I also had a miscarriage about 2 years ago that was really hard on me, so having a baby that I would be close with was extremely emotional and exciting for me. On the other hand, my brother is not. He's very traditional and wants to be the breadwinner, provider of his family. He and his wife want to have a baby shower, but it would mean they would lose a great sum of money they can't afford. I've offered to pay for the whole thing because I love them and the baby, plus it would be a beautiful moment for both sides of their family. My husband and I coordinated with them and paid for anything they wanted for the baby shower. A few weeks before the baby shower, my brother, his wife, my husband and my other brothers were at our parents' house for a football game. The topic of babies and the baby shower they planned came up, and my brother made a joke saying, "I'm glad my wife is in working condition so we could be the first ones to have a baby. It feels good to be the first sibling for something." That really hurt because I was so excited to be having a baby, but when my husband and I got the news, it devastated us, and it took us a while to become better. I went home crying and I blocked my brother on everything. I couldn't believe how inconsiderate and insensitive he was, especially after I gave him everything. I texted him one time saying, "We won't be paying for your baby shower anymore. What you did was horrible and I don't want to speak to you again." He told our family and now they're all trying to contact me, but I don't want to hear it. So Reddit, am I the jerk? Update. I've been reading a lot of the comments and I would like to thank everyone who gave their support and opinion. I will be answering some common questions I've been hearing. 1. What was the sister-in-law, SIL and family's reaction? Everyone did not agree with this comment, and the sister-in-law was pissed he even said something so rude. She texted me how sorry she was on his behalf, and she says she totally understands why I made my decision. 2. Did he apologize? He believes he did nothing wrong, so he's standing by his action. While I am upset by his blindness to how this could be hurtful, I'm not the kind to argue until I get an apology. I've made the decision to still try to give my sister-in-law a baby shower because she deserves it. I don't want to ruin my relationship with her or my niece, so I'm trying to figure out a way to give her a baby shower and still hold my ground with my brother. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your brother basically said he's glad your baby died, so he's the first one to have a child. Beauty F. This is not some effing joke, and there's no way to throw flowers over it to make it look better. And there's no way to take that back. He, as a soon-to-be father himself, should be able to at least kind of imagine what it would be like to lose his child. I'd send a message to everyone that they should hardly think about what they want to tell you. BC, you'll cut everyone off who wants to smooth things over, tell you you're overreacting or to put it into a different life. He literally said he's glad and happy your baby died, and there's no way in hell to turn this around. And no one should come to you with a, "That's not what he meant." BC, that's exactly what he meant. Comment 2. Not the idiot. And your brothers weren't rough on you because you're a girl. They were rough on you because they were bullies, and it sounds as though this brother still is. I also have 3 brothers, and they would never ever have said something so cruel and mean-spirited. Your brother can't have it both ways. He can't be a jerk to you and then expect that you to still pay for a baby shower. Your family are probably trying to contact you so they don't get stuck with the bill. Comment 3. Not the idiot. I too am a big sister, but only two brothers. Not that it makes a difference. Nonetheless, my brother would be down a sister as he ever fixed his mouth to utter such disrespect. That comment sat on his mind an amp. He couldn't wait to say it an amp. Said it so gleefully as if he one-upped you or the other brothers. Yeah, no idiots here, that's fricked up an amp. I'm sorry for your loss. Now for the update. A month has passed and things have unfortunately taken a turn for the worse. I tried to navigate my relationship with my brother, but his hurtful words remained etched in my mind, serving as a constant reminder of our strained relationship. I continued with the baby shower plans, and my sister-in-law was extremely grateful. It was a beautiful day filled with laughter and love, yet I felt a sense of emptiness as my brother was absent from this memorable occasion. Shortly after the baby shower, my sister-in-law went into premature labour due to stress. The baby, a beautiful little girl, fought hard, but despite the doctor's best efforts, she didn't make it. My brother and sister-in-law were devastated. I felt like I was drowning in guilt. I couldn't help but think that if I had just swallowed my pride and let my brother be a part of the baby shower, maybe things would have turned out differently. In the midst of all this, my parents and the rest of the family blamed me for the tragedy. According to them, my actions had allegedly caused undue stress leading to the premature birth. My brother was no different. In his grief, he lashed out at me, accusing me of being the reason for his little girl's death. I was heartbroken. My family, the same people I had loved and cared for all my life, had turned their backs on me. I sought solace in my sister-in-law. Despite her own grief, she stood by me, assuring me that it wasn't my fault. It was us against the world, or so it seemed. However, the grief was too much for her. She had lost her baby, her life had shattered, and she was trapped in a toxic family. Despite my best efforts to be there for her, she slipped into a dark depression. Then one day she left. She didn't say where she was going, but I knew she needed to get away. Here I am, a month later, alone and lost. I've lost my family, my niece and my sister-in-law. I feel like I'm mourning multiple deaths at once. The grief is overwhelming, and the loneliness is crippling. But I'm trying to pick up the pieces, trying to find the strength to move forward, but it's hard, so hard. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I just want to clarify how unfair it is to blame you for such a tragic event. It's a heartbreaking situation, no doubt, and it's understandable that your family is looking for someone to blame, but it's not okay for them to target you. Premature labour can happen due to a myriad of reasons, and it's wrong for your brother to put that responsibility on your shoulders. You tried to do something nice by planning a baby shower, and it's not your fault that he decided not to attend. Also, it's important to remember that words, no matter how harsh, can't physically cause something like premature labour. The medical community attributes premature birth to biological factors, not emotional ones. It's unfair and scientifically inaccurate to blame you. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's clear that you're in a difficult situation, and it's important to remember that it's not your fault. The loss of a child is a terrible tragedy, but it's not caused by stress or emotional turmoil. It is really unfortunate that your brother has chosen to blame you, but his accusations are misplaced. You're not responsible for your sister-in-law's depression either. Depression is a complex mental health disorder that can't be attributed to one single event or person. Instead of blaming you, your family should be supporting each other through this difficult time. It's a tough situation, but you should try to seek support and advice from outside your family circle, like a mental health professional, to help you cope with this situation. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's heartbreaking to hear that you're dealing with such immense guilt and pain over something you had no control over. The baby shower you planned was an act of love and kindness, and it's truly unfortunate that your brother chose to not attend it. It's also important to understand that the blame your family is putting on you is likely a way for them to cope with their own grief and guilt. It's easier to point fingers than to accept that sometimes tragic things just happen. As for your sister-in-law, it's wonderful that she stood by you, and her leaving is not your fault. People cope with grief in various ways, and sometimes they need to distance themselves to heal. It's painful, but try not to internalize their actions and reactions as something you caused. You're not alone, and there are resources available to help you navigate through this. Now, for the next story. I, 28 years old female, am not happy for my little sister, 19 years old female, getting married. We don't have any family left other than a distant uncle who lives across the country and couldn't care less about us. I have tried to be the best role model I could be for her since we lost our only parent so young, but I feel like I failed. My little sister met this cook at the restaurant she works at, and I don't care what he does for a living. It has nothing to do with that, but he's 39. He is 39 years old and just put a ring on my 19-year-old little sister's finger. I met him once before and I didn't realize he was that old, to be honest. He looks good for his age. But I also didn't think they would end up together, so I didn't think to press on it. She's constantly dating all these men. Probably to make up for her severe daddy issues that I also have, but we don't need to get into that. I feel terrible because my sister was so excited to tell me she's engaged, and I flipped out on her. I told her how disgusting it is that he is an old man and that she wouldn't be able to live her life the way she wants to with a guy like that. She left my house crying and won't answer me. It's been 2 weeks. Am I the a-hole? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. You're the idiot for what you said to her, not the idiot for your concern. 1. Apologize to her. Tell her you were way out of line and that you won't do it again, and don't do it again too. Explain to her that you are having a hard time watching her grow up and that part of your protector brain freaked out, that you will keep it under control. 3. Tell her that you love her more than anything and you want the best for her. Tell her that you're proud of her and know she is smart and makes good decisions. Say this even if you don't believe her. 4. Tell her that you love her unconditionally and you will support her in whatever she does, that you will not judge her and that you will always be there for her. 5. Ask how you can support her right now and how can you make it up to her. Tell her you want to be in her life and you will do better stepping back. Offer to have the two of you go to therapy to work on relating to each other better. 6. Listen to what she says. Treat her like you respect her opinions and thoughts, and then do those things. If the guy is a creep trying to isolate her, fingers crossed he's not. You being accepting and loving will make it harder for him to convince her to push you away. You need to be there for her even if it unalives you inside. She's lucky to have you. You clearly love her loads. I'm sorry you're in this situation, but you can do this. Best of luck. Comment 2. Not the idiot, he is literally more than twice her age. The power dynamic is strongly slanted in his favour. Maybe you could convince her not to marry him until she is 22 and to use the next few years to go to college so she can have a better paying job in the future, and to allow her to work part-time to save money for her future, since he is not in a position to support her. Maybe you could also have a talk with him saying he needs to wait until she is 22 and to have a house and be able to support her before you will give your blessing. The likelihood of him fulfilling those requirements is not great given that he is 38 and working as a cook. If you can get her to agree to delay, a lot can and will happen over the next few years that will open her eyes to the absurdity of the situation. Or maybe you could find someone who is 20 years older than you and who looks 30 years older than you and bring them around your sister. When she says something about how much older he is, you can truthfully state the age difference is the same as between her and her BF. You know, fighting fire with fire. Sometimes issues are easier to see on others. Comment 3. Comments are locked due to continued rule violations. Rule 1B, Severe Wiki Rule 11. 3. A_no_partings. 2 for relationship, 2F sex. 2 free productive _autonomy _posts. L attack ideas, not people. The purpose of this sub is to determine and explain who is in the wrong, not to eviscerate anyone. Treat others with respect while helping them grow through outside perspectives. Derogatory or dehumanizing language, including insults, violate this rule. This rule applies to everyone, even those not on Reddit. Don't insult others or get into spats in the comments. Don't comment to remind users of the rules. Use reports, be respectful, be nice, don't be a jerk. Now for the update. It's been a month since my sister and I had our falling out. I've tried reaching out, but she's made it clear that she doesn't want to talk to me. Despite my discontent with the situation, they went ahead and got married. To be honest, I was half expecting her to realize her mistake and call everything off, but that didn't happen. I didn't attend the wedding. I had hoped that my absence would make her reconsider her decision, but it didn't. The wedding photos I saw on social media showed her glowing, but her eyes devoid of the youthful spark I've always known. She quit her job at the restaurant. I heard from her co-workers that he didn't think it was appropriate for her to work there anymore. He's doing well in his career and financially he can support them both, but the idea of her being entirely dependent on him scares me. She doesn't go out with her friends anymore. She always loved hanging out with them, but her husband said it's more fitting for a married woman to spend time at home. It's like she's trapped in a gilded cage. I've tried talking to her friends, asking them to reach out, but they've been brushed off just like I have. I've caught glimpses of her around town, always with him by her side like a shadow. She's lost weight, and there's a sadness in her eyes that she tries to hide with a smile. I've tried approaching her, but he always steers her away. The only contact I've had with her was a brief phone call a few days ago. She sounded exhausted, the cheerful tone she used to speak with now replaced with a weary one. She was quick to hang up after insisting everything was fine. Despite the unsettling feeling deep in my stomach, I feel helpless. I want to save her from this, but she's not ready to be saved. I fear my sister is losing herself, and I can't do anything to stop it. And while I question if I reacted the right way initially, I can't help but feel a growing dread about what the future might hold for her. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your concerns for your sister's well-being are valid, and it shows that you genuinely care about her. It's clear that you miss your sister and wish to see her happy and independent, which is a completely reasonable desire. However, it's important to remember that everyone has their own path and makes their own choices in life. It's hard to watch someone you love make decisions that you believe are detrimental to them, but at the end of the day, it's their life. It's vital to respect her decisions and give her space, even if you disagree with them. You've done your part by reaching out and expressing your concerns. It's now up to her to take action if she feels it's necessary. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's evident that you're worried about your sister's happiness and well-being, which is commendable. However, it's noteworthy that her husband's belief that a married woman should stay at home can be seen as controlling and restrictive, particularly if she's not happy with this arrangement. It might be helpful to have a candid conversation with her about this, expressing your concern without judgment or pressure. It's crucial to approach this topic delicately, as it can be a sensitive issue. Remember, your aim should be to support her, not to make her feel judged or defensive about her choices. Comment 3. Not the idiot, but you might want to consider how your sister might perceive your concern. It's possible that she may see your attempts to reach out as intrusive or controlling, even if your intentions are pure. It's also possible that she is going through some personal adjustment period after her marriage and needs some time to settle into her new lifestyle. It would be beneficial to remind her that you are there for her and ready to support her, without imposing your own views or values onto her. It's a delicate balance to strike, but it's crucial to respect her autonomy and decisions, even if they're not ones you would personally make. Now, for the next story. I have a 26-year-old daughter named Ava. We helped her put a down payment on a house and she's changing things in the home. I have told her so many times to hire a professional if it is not a DIY project. I have had to fix so many of her projects and I put my foot down, telling her I will not help from now on. Ava mentioned changing the tile in the bathroom, and I told her she should hire someone for that if she isn't using stick-on tile. Well, she went and tried to do it on her own, and she made a huge mess of the bathroom. She called me up and asked if I could fix this. I told her I told you so. We have done this dance way too many times, and she needs to hire someone to fix it. She told me it will cost her thousands to fix, and I could do it. I told her no again, and she called me a jerk. Now she has a messed-up bathroom since she needs to save up for someone to fix it, and she thinks I am a jerk. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I have a similar problem with my widowed mother-in-law. She clearly had a habit of buying materials or starting a project on her own and then getting her husband to finish it. Now she pulls the same trick on me. She's now on her own and bought a house that needs some work. We helped her paint every room in the house. Then I took up the carpet in the living room and refinished the floor. It didn't match, so she bought enough LVT for the entire house. I didn't start helping her quickly enough, so she tried to do it herself, and I had to take it all out because of the gaps and redo it. I had removed some vinyl picket fence from my yard, which she wanted for her yard. I haven't had time to put it in because I was doing flooring instead. In my mind, the flooring could wait because it was cosmetic and it can be done in winter. Now I'm probably going to have to take time off work when the weather is decent to put in her fence. Stand firm, I'm already doomed. Save yourself. Comment 2, not the idiot. You suggested that she hired professionals. She thought she could do it herself. Like the other time she started something where you had to step in, so you told her that you wouldn't help her if this goes south. Surprise, another project she couldn't do and now expects you to fix her mistakes, costing you your time, your money, your nerves. So no, not the jerk for finally putting your foot down and stop handling her fixing her messes. BTW, are you sure, like really sure, that it is just a freakish amount of cases of her overestimating her capabilities, her not banking on the fact that you will come to her rescue? So in effect you paying for her renovations? Oh, the wooden floor has to be changed. Carpenter wants 15k. I buy the wood for 3k, rip out the old and then I ask to fix it. Voila, 12k saved. Comment 3, not the idiot. My dad was a private contractor carpenter. He fed, housed, clothed, put braces on our janky teeth and sent us to school by fixing DIY projects people had no business attempting. You were right. She didn't listen and created a hole where her bathroom is that she's going to have to throw money into until she pays a professional. Now for the update. Ava has been strangely quiet these past few weeks. I don't hear much from her except for the occasional text and brief phone calls. Her tone is always clipped, almost resigned, and our conversations are painfully superficial. I can't shake off the feeling that I'm talking to a stranger, not my vibrant and passionate daughter. The bathroom damage turned out to be worse than she initially thought. A water leak caused by the failed tiling attempt damaged the floorboards and some drywall. Needless to say, it's costing her a lot more to fix than initially anticipated. She had to dip into her emergency savings to afford the repairs. She hasn't asked for my help since our last conversation. In fact, she seems to be avoiding any situation where she may need to lean on me. It's been heartbreaking to see her struggle financially and emotionally, but I'm trying to respect her independence. Ava lost her job last week. She was working for a small graphic design company, and a significant client pulled out unexpectedly. The company had to make some cutbacks, and Ava was one of the last ones to be hired, so she was one of the first ones to be let go. I immediately offered to help pay for the bathroom repairs, but she declined, saying that she wanted to handle it herself. She's been looking for a new job, but the market is tough right now. It's hard not to worry as a parent, especially when your child is going through such a difficult time. I want to help her financially, but she's made it clear that she needs to do this on her own. To top it all off, her dog Bruce fell ill. The vet thinks it's something serious, but they need to run more tests, which Ava can't afford right now. That dog means the world to her. It's a tough pill to swallow that she might lose her furry companion on top of everything else. I've been thinking a lot about our relationship recently and the way I handled the situation. I wanted to teach her a lesson about responsibility, but I never wanted her to feel abandoned. I'm beginning to question if I did the right thing by drawing such a hard line. Life has a way of piling it on when you're down. Ava is just trying to keep her head above water. I just hope that she knows she's not alone, even if she's trying to face it all by herself. Now for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. Independence is a virtue, and it seems like Ava is trying to tackle her problems on her own, which is commendable. It's understandable that you, as her parent, feel the urge to step in and help her, especially with her financial troubles and Bruce's sickness. However, it's also important to respect Ava's decision to handle things independently. Perhaps the best way to offer support without infringing on her autonomy would be to simply let her know that you're there for her. no matter what happens. Comment 2. Everyone sucks here. Ava's situation is complicated and it's clear that she's under a lot of stress. But refusing help when it could alleviate some of her burdens seems stubborn and impractical. On the other hand, as her parent, you should also reconsider your approach. Being tough on her might not be the solution when she's clearly struggling with multiple issues. Instead of being tough on her, why not try offering emotional support or practical advice on job hunting or budgeting? You could also offer to help with Bruce's vet bills as a gift, without undermining her independence. Comment 3. No idiots here. It's clear that Ava is going through a tough time, and it's natural that you, as her parent, want to support her in whatever way you can. However, it's also clear that Ava values her independence and wants to find her own solutions. Instead of directly offering financial help, maybe consider other ways to support her. Provide a listening ear, encouragement, or even advice on job hunting or managing finances. Also, remember that it's okay to express your concern about her well-being. Sometimes, knowing someone is there for you can be the greatest support of all. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.